So I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order of Monday, September 11th, 2023. Welcome to this meeting of our Village of Western Springs Village Board of Trustees to honor our nation's heroes and especially to honor the individuals who serve and protect our community. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Today, September 11th, is Patriot Day and a national day of service and remembrance in memory of those who served and in gratitude for those that continue to serve our nation every day. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you very much. Deputy Clerk Hester, may we have a roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am.
President?
Trustee Lakian?
Here.
Trustee Chen?
Here.
Trustee James?
Here.
Trustee Lewis?
Here.
Trustee Naraki?
Here.
And Trustee Terrell?
Here.
All present.
Thank you very much. We'll move on to the next item of our
I'm
agenda.
sorry, can I ask you to adjust your mic, please?
Oh. Wow, that's not pointing the right direction. That's a little bit better.
Thank you, I'm sorry about that.
No, thank you. Do we have any citizen comments that we've received via email or anything? All right, very good, thank you. All right, we will move on then in the workshop portion of our meeting here, the workshop meeting, to our committee reports, and we will begin with finance with Trustee Chen.
Okay, thank you, Madam President. The Finance Committee met last week, and we discussed two items that are on the agenda today. One is the Stormwater Utility Fee Ordinance modification for public path systems. Staff is recommending to the village that the village board consider a change to the Stormwater Utility Ordinance in relation to public path systems. The current ordinance specifies that certain path systems outside the public right-of-way be counted as impervious area. Public path systems within public right-of-way, i.e. village sidewalk, are exempt under the existing ordinance. The Western Springs Park District requested that their pathway system be removed from their impervious area calculation. The Park District cited language within the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District MWRD Watershed Management Ordinance, WMO, in which the WMO exempts public path systems that exist in open space. The MWRD WMO governs detention requirements within Cook County, and the MWRD requirements have already been adopted into the village's municipal code. Then there's some language cited from the WMO that supports the Park District's request. MWRD WMO Appendix A, Definition A-11, open space, pervious land to be retained as pervious land, which is not part of a larger development. Open space may also include sidewalk, bike path, nature, or walking trail development less than or equal to 14 feet in width. Staff believes that certain paths on Park District and School District property meet the MWRD definition of public path systems, and village staff would support a modification of the stormwater utility fee to exempt certain public path systems that meet the criteria of the MWRD WMO. Sorry, that was a lot of time saying that. We discussed this in committee, and we concur and recommend to the full board that this modification be made. So sorry, that was a lot, but I thought it was interesting.
Is this just the Park District?
Yes,
What about all the other entities, school?
like the school district. We
Can they
talked
jump
about
on
that.
this?
Yeah. Does you want to?
Jeff, you want to chime in?
Can they jump on this?
Sure.
Could they?
So the full MWRD definition that will likely co-opt in our ordinance modification specifies that the entire parcel can have no more than, I think, 30% impervious coverage. So it's truly aimed at parks, but obviously we'll mirror their ordinance, and if anyone fits that criteria, I think we'd entertain it.
Good question. We raised that as well. And that, yeah.
And,
So,
and then similarly, the walking paths and timber trails, how's that?
there, well, go ahead.
Jason?
Yeah, the Timber Trails path system is actually owned by the village and then eventually maintained by the HOA once it's accepted. So that system would be the criteria only if it meets the WMO standards. So we'll review that once we get closer to acceptance of the path.
Thanks.
Staff has been in regular contact with all of the Park District as well as the school district and Timber Trails as well on this issue.
Probably pretty negligible. Big part, I'm just thinking of Spring Rock.
It can add up, in particular for the Park District, it can add up to be a more significant amount of space.
Yeah, good questions. Okay. Okay, great. And then the second item we discussed, and that's on the agenda tonight, is the library intend to levy a building maintenance tax in the amount of 0.02%. The Thomas Ford Library Board passed a resolution at their June 27th, 2023 meeting requesting that the village board levy a building maintenance tax in the amount of 0.02% of the value of all taxable property in the village for the purpose of maintaining, repairing, equipping, and/or altering the library building. This levy is allowable under Section 5/3-4 of Illinois Library Law. The 0.02% levy requested is for the fiscal year January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. This needs to be approved and published by the village because as the corporate authority, the village includes the library's levy within the village's annual levy. Then this memo that goes on to read how we have to provide publication in a local newspaper and shall be effective within 30 days after publication, provided a petition of more than 1,061 or more electors is not filed. Historically, this levy request has been approved and implemented in past levies. So we discussed this. This is pretty regular order of business for the library, and the committee recommends it to the full board. So. If there's no other questions, that is my report from the Finance Committee.
All right, very good. Thanks very much. All right, General Government, Trustee Terrell.
No report tonight.
All right, thank you. Planning and Zoning, Trustee Naraki.
No report tonight.
All right, thank you. Okay, Properties and Recreation, Trustee Avakian.
Thank you. I am going to put forward two ordinances to the board that we discussed, Attorney Jurassic and the two parties involved with the land dispute. We're all in a meeting together. They all kind of hammered out the things together. I feel like it has been discussed and agreed upon, and I recommend we move forward. The technical, I'm proposing the ordinance authorizing the vacation of the south 15 feet by 187 feet of the 52nd Street right-of-way adjacent to and north of the 52nd 100 Grand Avenue property located in the Forest Hills subdivision, and approving a plat of vacation and reservation of public utility, sidewalk, and stormwater drainage easements related to said right-of-way vacation. The petitioners are James Coniff and Laura Coniff. The second ordinance, which is under the subletter B, is the ordinance authorizing the vacation of the north 12 feet by 187 feet of the 52nd Street right-of-way adjacent to and south of the 5140 Grand Avenue property located in Forest Hills subdivision, and approving a plat of vacation of reservation of public utility, sidewalk, and stormwater drainage easements, and abrogation of existing sidewalk easement relating to the said right-of-way vacation. The petitioner there is Ray Swappa. Is there anything else I should add?
All right, any questions?
Somebody should be commended, because I remember this was quite contentious.
Yes.
However, whoever worked this out.
I came in the 11th hour, so it wasn't me.
Well, it's been going on for quite some time, so.
It was a collective effort. Staff did an excellent job, and I think we wore down the, everybody.
Fair compromise had been
Yes.
reached, so I
And-
commend you.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was
a
no
lot of work.
compromise on price. So just everybody
Okay.
realizes that Mr. Swappa will be paying $61,710. Mr. Coniff will pay $60,307 for their respective parts of this right-of-way, which are consistent with the pricing schedule in the village's right-of-way disposal policy. So,
Little plum for the village as well.
yes, that'll be good for, I believe it goes into your streets and infrastructure fund. So,
Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's good to see it resolved. So I share your compliments and praise. Thanks to everybody who,
With the trees too, being moved.
trees, that's within the.
It's a
agreement.
really long ordinance.
Yes, very, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, Public Health and Safety, Trustee Lewis.
Thank you, President Rudolph. Chief Kelly reported at our committee meeting last week that the fire department will be sharing the cost of some new rescue equipment with the Hinsdale Fire Department. The new items are intended to be used when responding to below-grade trench or confined space incidents. Such incidents are rare, so it makes sense for the two departments to share one set of equipment. The equipment will include harnesses, tripods, ropes, fans, and other hardware. Their total cost is estimated to be $8,000 or about $4,000 per department. And I'd like to note that this is a small but a good example of our ongoing efforts to evaluate and explore opportunities for shared services with area communities. Moving on to other items, the fire department hosted its annual pancake breakfast this past Sunday, and I can report that the weather was perfect, the pancakes were tasty, and the attendance was great. Also at our committee meeting last week, Police Chief Kahuli gave us an in-depth and excellent review of the 2022 Police Department Annual Report. You should have a copy of the report in front of you tonight. And I asked the chief to take a few minutes of our time this evening to share some of the highlights with the full board. So Chief, I'll turn it over to you if that's all right.
Great.
Thank you. Just to go through this briefly, I'm going to give a quick summary of some points of interest. It's 35 pages, so I'll try to summarize this as quick as possible. Going to page 5, our agency has been accredited with CALEA since 2004. Last year, we continue to ensure that we're in compliance with CALEA. That's basically our standard operating procedures are current and up to date with all the laws that are changing. Recently, we also hired a new public safety analyst to help monitor this and help us with this. Moving on to page 15, or actually 14, we recognized one of our officers, Officer Roger Wilson. In 2022, he had 54 citations written. His officer-initiated activity was extremely high with 28 speeding contacts, 2 DUI arrests, and 6 distracted driving citations. In addition to that, though, Officer Wilson conducted several business checks, and he does the checks at residences when they go on vacation. He found 98 open doors, followed shortly thereafter by Officer Postic, who had 72 open doors. Moving to the following page, on page 15, was traffic crashes. We average about 17.9 traffic crashes per month, but the vast majority of our crashes are on Wolf Road, with number 1 being Wolf Road in Ogden, and we have Wolf Road and 47th Street, Ogden Avenue and Central Avenue, Wolf Road and Hillgrove Avenue. This basically gives us a measure, though, where we should deploy our resources more effectively. So we conduct directed patrols in that area. We also utilize the speed trailers to just warn motorists on to obey the speed limit a little bit better. I don't feel those 17 crashes is a lot for a municipality our size. So, moving to page 16, it's the crime reports. This is the uniform crime reports. Is what we report to the FBI. These are like the 10 main crimes that can occur in a municipality. As you see, the top 4, we have zeros for the last, for 2021 and 2022. So Western Springs is an extremely safe community. It's something we're very proud of at the police department. Moving on to page 18 and 19, we're constantly training with all the state mandates, the Safety Act. We're required to attend numerous training classes per year. Several of our staff is trained to train our personnel, in-house training. We have seen an increase in calls for service involving individuals in mental crisis, so several of our officers are certified in that. And also, we have a field training program. In the last 3 months, we hired 3 brand-new police officers. There were lateral hires, which means they came from other police departments. We're able to accelerate that program and get them in solo patrol in 6 to 7 weeks instead of the 14 weeks that we normally take. So that has been a huge success for us. Moving to page 20 and 21, we have several mutual aid agreements. This is more or less an insurance policy to ensure our community is safe. We have an agreement with NIPUS, the EST team, which is the emergency service team. It's like a SWAT team. And the mobile field force team, which is more or less a crowd control unit that could come out and assist us if we were to have protests in our community. We're also part of the South Suburban Major Crime Task Force. Now, we haven't had a homicide in our town in several years, but this gives our detectives exposure to assist other communities and gives them the experience if we were ever to have a serious incident in our town. And we're also part of the Major Case Assistance Team. 13 neighboring communities feed into that. And if there's a serious incident that takes place, we could page these officers out and have another 10 to 15 police officers helping us. Moving on to page 23, we have a school resource officer at Lyons Township. For the last 2 years, it was Officer Fickey. Not only does he provide security at the school, but he also provides education, teaches driver's ed, drug awareness, alcohol abuse. He had 73 contacts, which include some arrests, but they're minor offenses such as possession of cannabis, possession of drug paraphernalia, and vaping devices. He works in conjunction day in and day out with the dean's office. So it's a great resource for us too as well in forging a good relationship. Going on to page 24, we have a chaplain program. Christina Wolstein retired. She was a chaplain by us for 8 years. Now we have Pastor Dean Muckenmeyer. I call him Pastor Dean, so I'm not sure if I got his last name correct. But this is definitely a great resource for the police department. Not only does Pastor Dean conduct ride-alongs with our officers, but he's also there to assist individuals in certain calls. Our officers are also tasked with the job of making death notifications and going to residents. Where we're able to call Pastor Dean and he'll be able to sit with the family and help them out during kind of crisis like that. Moving to page 27, we do have a fitness program. Our police officers have to take a fitness test each year. We're doing it at the end of the month this year. It's also open up to the entire village as well. The test consists of push-ups, number of push-ups in a minute, number of sit-ups in a minute, sit and reach, and a 1-mile run. We do that at the Lyons Township field. So that's later on this month. And then just turning to the page 30, some awards and commendations. We have, for one event, we had 5 officers receive an award for a fatal car accident that they investigated and handled approximately a year ago from now. And then going to the last page, talking about personnel, we had 4 retirees, or a few officers retired. Deputy Chief Daniel Albrecht retired after 22 years of service with the police department. Sergeant Roger Jage retired after 24 years of service. Chief Brian Buds retired after 25 years of service. And Sergeant Sarah Magnuson resigned from the police department and went into the private sector. With that, we also had some promotions then, which was Deputy Chief Ashley Jasudas and Sergeant Magnuson and Sergeant Casey Church.
Thank you very much. And thank you and your officers and your whole team for keeping us safe and all you do for the community. And we're really grateful for your leadership too. Thank you very much. And Trustee Lewis, the cooperation agreements, the sharing agreements sound like a really terrific.
Yeah, it's a good start for one of our strategic goals that we
Yeah.
talked about for a while.
Yeah, it's good cost management and also a way to continue to work with our neighboring communities too. Again, as the chief just mentioned, in a lot of different ways that we cooperate with the other surrounding communities.
Good stuff. Thank you, Chief. Yeah, we live in a very safe community. You know, how great is that? So keep up the good work, and congratulations to everyone in the department. Oh, and lastly, our committee also had some preliminary discussions with lots more to come related to the 2024 police and fire department budgets. So we have some work to do on that, and that concludes my report.
Very good. That was a lot. Thank you very much. All right. Public Works and Water, Trustee Fink.
All right, thank you. The first item is the Safe Routes to School grant opportunity. So Western Springs, we have lots of issues with sidewalks that don't get everyone to school, or sidewalks that don't go to the whole town, and this is a great opportunity. So the Safe Routes to School grant is available every 2 years, and the staff, 2 years ago we didn't get a grant, and staff met with IDOT to see what we needed to make our application look a little better. It was recommended that we have complete a comprehensive village-wide Safe Routes to School plan. And that's just meeting with school officials, elementary through high school, public and private, about what's the best comprehensive way we can look at this as a village. And if selected, this is the fantastic part, it's not an 80-20 split like they usually are, but it's funded at 100%. So if we get that Safe Routes to School grant, hopefully it will take care of a lot of sidewalks for us. And this is on the meeting because the grant requires a resolution of support from the village board. The next item is the Harvey Avenue reconstruction. That's the repaving of Harvey Avenue. So we're recommending paying H.R. Green $19,650. This is an expense override. So Harvey, the road construction program began in April 2023. And all along there's a ComEd, like 2 poles, an electrical box had to be moved. And even though ComEd was contacted several times, it just didn't get moved in a timely manner. And because of that, we had to pay for Phase 3 engineering to H.R. Green. So we're looking to ComEd to help pay this extra fee. So recommending to approve H.R. Green for $19,650.
How successful will think we'll be with trying to get it from ComEd?
Well,
What do
only
you
time
think?
will tell. Only time will tell.
About 19,000 because they were asleep at the switch. I don't know what happened.
And they had a year advance notice.
Yeah, that's
So
what
it's,
I said the same thing. I'm like, if it's their fault, why are they not paying? They're like, we're trying.
Thank you for your efforts to try to get some of that back.
ComEd has been very helpful in walking us through the process to put that claim in.
and that's all we have.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, we will move on then to reports. My reports are just to commend a couple of great celebrations. Well, the parks centennial celebration this past weekend I thought was just outstanding. Of course, the weather was terrific for it, but as you know, I live very near the park, as does Trustee Avakian, and it was really, really well attended, and I thought very well run and managed.
Yeah, it
So
was great.
living in the immediate community, it was all just perfect in terms of just parking and traffic control, and it was just a great event. And there were a lot of people out celebrating, and I think it was just a fantastic way to really show off and celebrate the park and the park district. 100 years is really pretty amazing.
The
And,
fireworks show was unbelievable.
Fireworks.
I could hear it all the way by my house.
It just kept going. It was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah,
I
it
went
was-
to the play that night after I saw you, and inside the theater, it was deafening.
Oh,
The poor actors did a very commendable job of not missing a beat with
Oh
their
my
lines,
gosh. Oh my
despite the fact that went on for about 20 minutes. Very distracting,
oh, wow.
but for a good cause.
Yeah, we're really fortunate to have the parks that we have here, 90 acres in total, and it was just, I thought it was an excellent event. And then also, I want to also shout out to the fire department's pancake breakfast, which I hadn't been in a while, and it was great. It's such a great event for the community, and having the equipment out and the kids just enjoying looking at everything, and everybody that was serving and participating there were so helpful and just encouraging questions, and I thought it was a really, really well-done event. So that's my report, and with that, I will pass it to Village Manager Bear for her report.
Thank you. I just have a couple of things. I'm sure some of you have already experienced this, but the Illinois Tollway has a long-term closure and detour on the ramp that's connecting the northbound Tri-State Tollway to eastbound Ogden Avenue, and so that will impact our residents for sure. There will be updates, project updates, and information that'll be posted about detours and any up-to-date changes on the Tollway webpage. We do have a link to that page on our website as well, on the village website. So just a reminder, that's an ongoing closure. I don't know when it will be completed, but it will be an extended period of time that exit is closed. And then just one more reminder, we continue working on the water meter replacement program, and I know many residents have been contacted about that. We're working our way through town, and there's information on our website also about that, right in our community news section on the front page. That's all.
All right, thanks. Attorney Jerusik.
No report tonight.
Okay, very good. Trustee Terrell, we're going to, we'll officially adjourn this whole meeting, and we will not return after the closed session.
Okay. So do I make note of that now that we're, okay.
Yeah, adjourning the, motion to adjourn the workshop.
I would have a motion to adjourn the workshop portion of tonight's meeting. And then we will proceed to close the closed session after that.
Is there a
Regarding the appointment, employment, compensation,
okay.
discipline, performance, and dismissal of a specific employee of the public body or legal counsel.
Okay, very good. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay,
So I don't have to, roll call on the,
we'll roll call on that.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't have to have a separate motion to go into closed session?
We can do it in one, because you've adjourned, we're adjourning the workshop, and we're going to move and recess right into the closed meeting.
Thank you, Ellen, for covering me on
I had to take a lot of notes too. So, is this a roll call then? too?
Yes, because we are going to ultimately go into closed session.
Okay, may we have a roll call vote, please, on the motion?
Yes, Madam President. Trustee Avikian.
Yes.
Trustee Chen.
Aye.
Trustee Finn.
Aye.
Trustee Lewis.
Aye.
Trustee Naraki.
Aye.
Trustee Terrell.
Aye.
We have recessed. We have adjourned the meeting at 7:28 p.m.
Okay, very good, thank you. And we will not be returning back to this meeting. Thank you very much. So we'll give a minute for Dan to close things up.